Good evening, fam. You know what day it is. You know what time. It's time for Hard Talks with a Blonde and a Hippie. I'm your Trippy Hippie Alicia, jumping on the mic from good old Utah, here with some special people. Again, joined by Hannah.
Hannah Banana.
Hannah Banana, how are you?
Good.
Good. And we're also joined this evening by one of my very closest friends and / Hannah's boyfriend, one of them. Brody and Carlos.
Hello.
What's going on?
Yeah, you guys have actually sat down and bullshitted with me before, but it was kind of a drunken tangent.
It was a very
never
drunk.
to see daylight. Maybe for bloopers, we'll see.
We're so fucked up.
Yeah, it was an experiment. Okay, we got off on a hard left about extraterrestrial life beings, forces, aliens,
Something like that.
Aliens, extraterrestrial, and then it kind of bounced around from like everywhere else in between, and then came back, and then went somewhere else.
It was a good couple hours.
It was like 3 hours.
Yeah,
It was
easily.
like a solid 3 hours.
They literally made candy. Hannah and my friend made candy while we were recording. And if you don't know, I've talked about it on the show before. Candy is your festival bracelets, your rave beaded bracelets that have, funny or special messages that you exchange at shows. And they're trying to help me make like Hard Talks merchandise to give away at said show. And finally, Hannah's like, it's time. Like, this isn't fun anymore.
No, I was falling asleep.
I know.
That's what was going on.
But, it was a great time. And that's what we're going to be talking now about today. It's been long awaited, highly requested. We're going to talk about raving, going to festivals, EDM, electronic dance music. And it's kind of funny because I was talking to Dre Rocca about this because I gave away that Hard Talks candy at a show to Wooly and Company. And he was like, I was watching a video with you exchanging a bracelet. And he's like, do you want to exchange a bracelet with me? Like, teach me. It's like you were throwing up all these gang signs or something. And I was like, well, they represent a lot of peace and love and unity and respect. That's exactly what it represents. But I was so caught off guard, and he's across the table for me. I got a lot of heat from our listeners because I said it backwards. I said peace, unity, love, and respect. And they're like, oh, and you call yourself
Fake raver.
I know.
Fake raver.
What do we call?
Yeah.
What do we call female Chad? I mean,
Alicia.
I think a Megan, right? But I was so blessed as to meet all these great people through my good friend Serena, and we've just all built an amazing connection on our own as time has passed. I mean, it's been a couple
Years.
years.
Yeah.
First time I met you, naughty or nice, the last year, 2018.
I met you at
2019.
Carlos's house.
No, it was
2018.
It was 2018.
Yeah, you and I met at
His house.
a party at your house.
Yeah,
Was that a can? Were we having a candy party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were having a candy party. You're right.
Yep, a candy party.
It was a candy party.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if anyone made candy, but
No, nobody made candy.
We made one.
but I was
Yeah.
all quiet
Mhm.
and like most of like the music that I got when I was listening on my own was from Pandora, so it's like a lot of your basic like Skrillex and
Avicii.
Your very radio edit kind of EDM music that's just, poppy. It's got that fast beat, house,
like
but
your
not
pop's
house.
version of Calvin Harris,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just radio friendly.
Yeah.
Radio EDM, like just like there's radio rock,
You
radio
get on
rap.
Sirius XM and put on the BPM station, and that's what you get on Pandora.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
But that's the
why I
first
don't
time I
listen to it.
met everyone was I'm very quiet, and it really brought me out of my shell. A lot of people don't understand why I love the community and the people so much, but I tell them I've never found such a pure and lighthearted group of people that really genuinely care for everybody. I've had perfect strangers come up to me and be like, hey, I don't know you, but I just need to let you know that I saw you across the way pretty much, and you're fucking beautiful. Like, you have a great night. I've had women, men, both buy me drinks just because, they got an extra one, or, it's just like people care and they care for one another. And I grew up listening to a lot of rock and heavy metal, and you can't necessarily find that at a punk rock show. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, well, like I grew up in the rock and metal genre myself, and they are entirely different atmospheres.
Crowds,
like, crowds,
definitely
entirely different. The rock and
it's a trip too. Like, I mean, I think our friend Tyler said it best, if you'll pull up that post. And as you're doing that, let me throw this in, because I curse like a sailor. It's an 18 and up podcast. I almost forgot, fam, but I didn't. 18 and up podcast. Don't listen in the car with your kids. Don't email into the show blaming me for your children cursing or saying fuckery or goddamn. It's not my fault. I love you. Love to hear from you, but we're partners in crime at that point, okay? So, curse like sailor, talk everything controversial, difficult, or taboo. I think I covered it all. Tyler Riggs, our good friend, wrote this, and I wanted to share this. This is a Facebook quote or post of his, and he summed it up perfectly. Because a lot of people, especially older generation, hear EDM and they're like, oh, it's just noise or a bunch of beeps and boops, And it's so much more to that. So in Tyler's words, it says, the more I listen to EDM over the years, the more baffled I am that people don't like it. EDM is probably the most versatile music that exists. It stands well on its own, but blends so well with virtually every other genre out there. You like hard rock? Sullivan King. Movie scores? Fotels. 80s pop? M83. Emo? Ascender. Ambient music? Blackmail. Love Blackmail. Had your heart broken? Millennium, and Said this guy.
and Davin.
Yeah. Love mosh pits? Excision. Want to feel your soul leave your body? Seven Lions. Need a reason to keep going? Dabbin. Love storytelling? Ferry Corsten. EDM is so much more than the chain smokers or whatever else you might hear on the radio, and it's definitely more than just noise. There truly is something for everyone, but you have to be willing to explore and be open to new things and experiences, end quote. And I remember when I read that for the first time, because he kind of went viral from that post, because it was just so well written. And I was like, damn, Tyler, like, I always had a hard time explaining it to other people who didn't understand the culture. You know what I mean?
There were 5.7 thousand shares on that post alone.
Yeah. But I've also seen it on Twitter and other
screenshots of it on Twitter and
other
Instagram
platforms. Yeah.
Tumblr. Whoever's a Tumblr person. I was a Tumblr person.
I don't know what Tumblr
It's on
is.
Reddit.
I don't even know. Like, there's a icon for when I publish episodes that I could share to Tumblr, and I'm like, do I need it? Like, what is it?
Not anymore. It's not as cool as it used to be.
Is it like MySpace?
Yes and no. It was more of like, it was like the hipster, like Facebook. But you can be anonymous. Like, you can do blogs, you can do aesthetic pictures. Halsey actually got famous off of Tumblr. And then she ironically got copyright striked for her own thing because she was under a different username. And they said it was her.
It kind of sounds like a dating app if you ask me, but
Not at all.
what do I know?
It's
Yeah,
not.
no,
But
okay.
then, then they removed like all of like
no, I mean just the name, you know?
Tumblr, yeah.
Like That's what anyways.
Like the edgy stuff they had to get rid of. They used to be a lot of porn on there, and then they got anti-porn. So now it's just boring.
Oh.
It's not fun anymore, but back in the day.
Sounds like you need to join us on one of
Sarah's girl on Tumblr.
Sarah's bonus erotica novel episodes, because I think you just
I just barely remembered my I just barely remembered my I was 14 when I started my Tumblr, and I barely remembered that password. So I have access to it again.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Start posting stuff for Hard Talks on there. See what happens for me.
Okay.
Anyway.
There's that.
How did you guys find the scene, if you will?
Through Bodie.
Where do you want? Well,
And how old were you?
how old was I?
Yeah.
What
What was your first, like...
Well, according to Spotify, I started listening to EDM in 2016. That's what Spotify says, but that's not right.
And who did that include?
I think the one song that came up was it was a Cascade song remixed by Midas, I think. Forgot what it was called, but it was a good one. I mean, obviously, but
I think mine was Benassi.
Benny Benassi.
Benny Benassi.
love Benny Benassi.
Yeah.
So truth be told, my uncle that you've met my uncle that worked with me when I had the shop.
Yeah, he's super cool.
So I was like 13, maybe 14 years old when I first got introduced to EDM, but I got introduced to the scene EDM Bass Hunter, Benny Benassi,
Dead Mouse.
yeah, Dead Mouse. The older, when people hear EDM, they automatically go to like that.
No, it's boots, cats, and boots, and cats.
The Rude.
The Rude, all of that. I got introduced into EDM with all of that music because that's what my uncle would listen to, and he ended up uploading a bunch of music on our computer back when we brought our computer back and everything like that. So I started listening to it, and then from there, it ended up going from that to me being, what the hell is this? Like, I love this stuff. And then I find Skrillex and old school Skrillex, so that really deep, dubstep, bass music. And that's why my range of music now goes from I'm a house whore, a bass head. It doesn't really matter. And first show being Skrillex Fall Tour 2014, GTA, Skrillex. Who else played? I think there was two other artists. Oh, Bro Safari. Was it Bro Safari?
Oh my God, I love Bro Safari.
But yeah, so first rave was
That was his
2014.
Mothership tour, right?
No, that was his fall tour. So it was a tour right after the Mothership tour.
Oh.
So he did the Mothership tour, and then he did, and then he did a smaller tour that was it was called the Fall Tour.
Gotcha.
Right after the Mothership tour. So that was when I got really into the scene, and then from there was that. But yeah, I was about 13, 14 when I first got introduced to EDM.
How old did you say you were, Brody?
High school.
2016.
Probably high school. Well, I graduated high school in 2014.
Yeah.
So, and I found they're like Cascade. Cascade was probably one of the first artists I ever found. I didn't really back then. All I fucking listened to was like Megadeth, Slayer, Overkill, fucking you name it. I listened to it, and I don't know. Like there was just something about it that caught my attention, but it not enough for me to really get involved. I didn't really get involved until I found Zomboy. I almost I think it was when was it? It was like April of 2016, and he came on his Neon Grave tour with Ghastly.
Yep.
And I almost bought my fucking tickets, but I had no way to get there. And so that would have been my first show, but my first real rave that I went to was Excision's Paradox tour in
That's an
2017.
intense show to
Yeah.
be your first.
Yeah. Yeah. It was fucking crazy. It was amazing. Who was on that lineup? It was Cookie Monster, Barely Alive, and Dion Timmer and Excision. It was fucking crazy.
Shit.
See, mine, I liked the
Rest in
beauty.
peace, Cookie.
You like the melodic.
Before I met him, I didn't know artists, like I didn't pay attention really.
What did you listen to mostly before you found EDM?
Son Holo, well, pop punk.
Pop punk, yeah.
Yeah, I was that kid.
Mayday Parade, All Time Low.
My Chemical
Yep,
Romance.
yep. I love
A
it
lot
all.
of Nirvana.
Oh,
I listened to a lot of Nirvana.
Kurt Cobain, man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah, I listened to Millennium's first album before I even knew like who the hell he was. And then Son Holo. And then I had like a few melodic here and there.
Something
and then
like that.
he tested the waters with me
I,
and was like, how
Expand
far
your
can we
mind.
go?
yeah.
Until
So,
she doesn't like it anymore.
well, and so when we got into that topic, because we mostly, we got connected mostly because we,
We loved Ozzy Osbourne
and Neck Deep,
and Neck Deep.
and who else?
it was a musical
A
connection.
Day to Remember.
Yeah, it was a musical connection.
Yeah.
100%. And then,
And then I had gone to one Get Lucky, and it was a shit show, and I said I was never going to go again. And then you made me go to DOS. Not made me, but you highly encouraged me to go to DOS, and I did.
And it was the
Tosses.
best decision ever.
And I fell
DOS
in
is
love. But yeah,
As of this recording date, August 6th, DOS is
a
next
week away.
weekend.
Next week,
Yeah.
next weekend.
we're going to be back.
Biggest festival in the state.
Yep.
So it's dope.
I'm excited.
That's cool though. So while he was expanding your mind, was there anyone that you just fell in love with?
I really liked Ghastly. I really liked Excision. Fun little side story. When we and him very first started, like being like not talking, but not officially dating yet either. You know that
Talking?
weird.
We were fucking.
Chat. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But there wasn't a label on it.
Backstage.
We were just fucking. Like, that's
Okay. Anyway.
no beating around
No,
the
it
bush
was
here.
actually before then. No, because
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was right before. It was right before.
Ring for sex.
Ring for sex.
Deadbeats. And I had just met Holden and everybody,
Oh, yeah, that was. that
and
was
he
kinda
took me
intense.
into the canyon. And he started
And then
playing,
he fucked her.
and then he started to play G Jones. And he was like, let me know if this gets too weird. And again, I was not accustomed to those noises, and I like at first was like, yeah, this is totally
wait,
fine.
Hannah. The ones that were playing on the radio or the ones that you were
The
making?
one that were playing on his radio.
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry. Continue.
But yeah, I got to the point where I had thought, like, this is how, like, I end up on the news. Like, this guy is gonna murder me out here in the canyon. Like, I can't believe I fell for this. Like, we're out here alone, and he's listening to some weird fucking shit that I've never heard before. And we're going really fast. He was going, like, 85 through the fucking canyon.
Did you contemplate
The only
having
way to
to?
drive through it, in my
Dude.
defense, okay?
That's like granny speed through there. Come on now.
It was scary.
Coming from the Subi racer
What's
guy.
Yeah, when you're very first dating someone, it was just like a lot of things going through my head. And then I made him turn it off. I was like, yeah, this is a little too weird for me. And then I ended up loving G Jones. I don't even remember the song that made me want to swap it. I don't remember what it was.
I think it was Help. I can't find my way out.
Sometimes shit
no,
just
it's
hits
weird.
different. Like, first time I ever heard Rez, not about it. She scared the
Right.
shit out of me. But it was because it was live. And it was the second day of Get Lucky after I got lost from all y'all.
Yup.
Bad, like worst bummer day at a festival I've experienced. Actually, the only one. But she comes on and I was hyped for her because I'd been listening to her like coming up to that show, and I was like, oh, okay, I could dig this chick. And then she comes on, and I wasn't feeling well that night. And we were sitting on the chairs up against that back wall.
Because of me.
And if you're not local to Utah, they have these festivals typically at the same place. It's the Saltaire Palace up in Tooele or Magna, and it's absolutely beautiful. Like, this building is, how old would you say that
It's
is?
It's old.
It's 100. It's over 100 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's been flooded by the Great Salt Lake and everything. But it's really cool because it's right on the salt flats. So when they have festivals out there, you're basically, like, when you take pictures, it looks like you're walking on just white sand or sometimes glass. Like, it's beautiful. But she comes on, and we're sitting against the wall in the very back, and the bass comes on, and it's like, you know, when it literally vibrates every fiber of your being. And it was like, I'm sick all over again. And like, she's like not even a quarter way through her set. And I was literally like, I just want to sleep. She's kind of got a scary vibe, man. I think I even told you that. I was like, she's kind of creeping me out, man. Like, anyway, but now, like, she's one of my favorite artists. Like, she has one song, Someone Else. It's literally about a sociopath, pretty much. And I had that on repeat for a couple weeks when it first came out. And Elliot is at that stage where he wants to know what everything's about. Why are we listening to this? Why are we driving here? What's this song about, Mommy?
Why?
Why? And, you know, I'm having kind of a shitty day. So my first remark is like, he's like, what is this song about? And I was like, your daddy. And I go to drop him off like 2 days later, and we're jamming to it as I'm dropping off. I'm like hyping myself up. I'm like, I ain't gonna talk to this fool. It's gonna be chill. We're gonna be chill. We get there. First thing out of Elliot's mouth is, this is your song, Daddy. And he's like, really? What's it about? I'm like, it's a really good song. Yeah, so that's why you got to be careful what you listen to in the car with your kiddos, peeps. You know, I don't have to tell you twice. But I found EDM in a weird roundabout way even before I knew I liked it. My would-have-been stepsister left a deadmau5 CD in my car, and it was the one with Sophie's Ladder on it and Raise Your Weapon.
My older sister used to rave, and that was her fucking shit.
And like, I was transfixed on Raise Your Weapon specifically. It's literally like a 7-minute song. Yep. But her voice, man, and the drop, and it was just perfect, and I loved it, and I didn't even really know what EDM was. And come full circle, like, I would even sing it. Like, I have that whole song memorized. But then I meet everybody, and, you know, I get accepted into this incredible rave family and find these amazing friendships. And it's not just about the music. It's about the connections that you make with people, because it really brings everyone together. You know, people like to say that music is like a language. You know, if you know how to speak it or know how to listen to it, you could interact with anybody.
Absolutely.
So,
100%.
yeah, I mean.
And to add to that, so me and Brody, we've known each other for a very, very, I want to say a very long time. Not a very, very long time, but we've known each other since, what, 2015? 2016?
Probably like 2015.
I think 2015, but we only knew each other because of cars. And then, but we ended up hanging around the same friend group, which is our non-rave friends, but they're really cool people.
It was funny because
it was a New Year's Eve party.
We were all of us were, what's the word? Acquaintances? No, fucking,
Affiliates.
no, like, we all knew of each other, but we didn't really know each other, but everybody was friends with everybody. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
School friends. Where
Sure.
you knew each other, but you never hung outside of school?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we never hung out outside of the car meets, because that's where we would all meet every Friday or whenever.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, where were we? Were we at Maddie's?
We had a New Year's Eve party at Maddie's house.
Yeah.
Maddie invited everyone. She invited you. She invited me. She invited everybody was there.
Yeah, there was like 50 people.
There was a lot of people there. Anyways,
Shit, that's nothing.
We know what kind of rages that happen here, but keep in mind, we're like 18, 19
Easily.
I think, like 18, 19 easily. Well, anyways, I get there, I see Brody, and he just got done with the Paradox tour. It's New Year's Eve now. He's wearing his Paradox hoodie.
Yeah.
And I grab him and I'm like, since when do you rave? He's like, bro, I just started. And I was basically like, do you want to go to Get Lucky in a few months? He's like, hell yes.
Isn't it funny how you meet people like in random happenstance ways? Like, for example, I had a girl email into the show. Her name's Alicia too, actually. But she was like, I randomly found your podcast because it was a local Utah podcast on my Spotify. So I just happened to click play and you were talking about raving. And she's like, I've been stuck ever since, because it's just funny. Like, you find another person that likes to go to festivals and it's like, oh my God.
Friends.
Yeah, and that's how it is at a
They're fucking
rave
everywhere,
too.
man. Like,
But you wouldn't even know. And that's my thing that I tell people is like I've seen every walk of life at a festival, 60-plus-year-old women in their lingerie, hooping. I've seen
there's
active military members there.
I have to add on to that. There's this older couple. It's an older guy. He has to be in his like 70s or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen him at every V2 show for the last 5 years, and he comes in this see-through fishnet top, and
I've seen that guy.
he has a choker, and his boyfriend
living
or
his
his
best
husband
life.
has a
Living
choker.
his best life.
And like they are my favorite fucking people every fucking time I see them. They are just so fucking awesome.
Yes.
They're those are the
I literally
only guys.
got chills because I know exactly who you're fucking talking about.
They're those are the only guys that stand out to me at every single show, except for like all of our mutual friends, of course, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like
We're a big group. Like,
oh yeah.
We're exponentially massive
Yeah.
when it comes to our rave fam.
Yeah, if our rave fam all comes together, it's probably like,
It's like 30 or 40 people.
yeah.
No. I think it's more.
You think so?
I mean, so because we have a
so
lot
the
of
close group. Yes.
okay.
But then there's always like, oh yeah, you're so and so's like
cousin or stepsister
Or friend or
ex-girlfriend / now fuck buddy. You know,
Yeah.
like, I mean,
Some
it's,
weird shit like
it's all,
that.
yeah. And we are really spread out. So we have a lot of friends who live down in St. George, which
Yep.
is about
4.5
4.5
hours.
4.5
hours
hours.
from Ogden, where we're recording. And then
Carlos has friends in Canada. Brody, who
I do.
were the people
You
that
have
we
friends in
hung
California.
out with?
We have
Oh,
very-
Eric and
Colby.
Colby.
We very, very good friends in California.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Love those two.
I mean, I'm not
What do you mean no?
BTSM at the bar. We hung out with them like all night.
BTSM. Oh, fucking that's like one of my other rave squads. So I randomly met those guys. They're called the Pineapple Crew. They're called the Pineapple Crew. And we met on, it was like some fucking EDM page on Facebook, and some
Where are they from though?
all over.
Oh.
There's like 4 of them from Chicago, Colorado. 3 or 4 of them are from here. They live in like South Jordan. All over. I think there's a couple like North Carolina and like Atlanta. Or, I don't remember.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. But yeah, those guys are amazing. I love them dearly, even though I haven't really talked to them in a while.
Yeah, but then you're going to see them at a festival and you're going to be like, oh my God, it's been so long.
Yeah, it happens like that.
It really does happen like that. And it is really crazy how just this lifestyle can bring so many people, so many friends, so many, not even talking about because our rave fam is big, but obviously you have the mini groups between the rave fam that makes it even bigger.
Yeah.
But an authentic an authentic connection.
Yes.
You know?
No, definitely. And even, myself, I have literally made new friends on EDM Twitter that I haven't even met yet, but like we're working around trying to meet each other because they're super, super dope people. And we're always hyping each other up. We're always, they're the Dry Scoop fam. Shout out to them. They're one of the main reasons why I did not stop pushing at the gym, but we're always hyping each other up. We're always planning festivals. They're like, hey, what festival you're going to next? Like, we're having a Lost Lands meetup, actually, because about 10 of us are going to be at Lost Lands.
Yeah, which is in Ohio.
Ohio.
Yes.
Yeah.
So excited.
So super stoked
1
about
month
that.
from now.
Super
I
stoked
have
I get to meet
question.
them. Yes.
I know my role in the Ray fam, but what would you consider your role?
My role?
Yeah.
My role in the
Rave
rave.
dad.
No, that's Brody.
That's real. I'm rave uncle.
I'm daddy.
I don't know. This has picked my drunk ass up off the
I
ground enough times.
I'm what you consider the rave uncle because I will make sure you have a good time, but I will also make sure you're taken care of
While you have a good time.
while I have a good time. So I
My
don't consider myself a rave
was
dad. I'm more of the rave uncle. I'm there when you need me, and then when you don't need me, you're like,
my first
where the
dose, you
fuck is?
were nowhere.
You're like, where the fuck is Carlos? He's doing his thing. He's out and about. He's somewhere.
See, I'm the exact opposite. Like, I cannot stay in one spot longer than.
yeah, what's
that-
your
that-
role?
that's-
Before I met Hannah, I had an absolute fucking terrible habit of not staying in one place.
Yeah.
I like to bebop around.
Yeah,
I like to.
exactly.
and me and you still beat bop around, but we're just together.
Yeah. So,
So
and
like
that-
nothing
that's where
really
I
changed.
sit
just
with it.
one more person.
Yeah.
Hannah's for sure rave mom. 100% Hannah is rave mom, no doubt about it. You need a rave mom, Hannah's right there. Rave dad, I give it to Brody because Brody definitely is one to look out for everybody while still having a good time.
Yeah, no shit though. Hannah will blow out her knee and still go to a rave and take care of everyone else. Straight up.
I
That was-
fractured my kneecap in 3 spots. Did you guys know that? Cause
Yes,
I
you
did.
told us.
Because I did.
I've heard the story so many fucking times.
I'm not telling it.
Please don't.
I'm not going to.
Okay, great. I
Just-
love you.
Just
You're a
know
super
that.
trooper. Just know you're a trooper.
Fuck
Yeah, no,
she
that
is.
was just my
Dude,
point,
When
is-
she fucking did that the Friday, the first day
first
of
day of
DOS.
DOS.
The first fucking
Yes.
day of DOS in 2019.
Getting into
And
a
then
car.
And she did that. She did both days of DOS. And then we went to Lost Lands the next month.
Yep.
I just
And
hobbled my ass everywhere.
that shit, yeah.
Super trooper Hannah Banana.
He had to help me in the shower the second day of DOS because I couldn't move. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
He's like, yeah, I do.
I
remember.
can't move my leg. He was like, yeah, you should probably go to an Instacare. And I was like, I would be a burden on everybody. And they're going to tell me not to go.
We would not have told you not to go.
No, the doctors would have told me not
Oh.
to go. And I was like, I don't want to be on crutches, so I'll just deal with it. And then I'll ice and elevate when I get home.
We also learned don't
2
let
days
the
later.
mechanic mess with body parts.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Hey, I got you through DOS, all right?
Yeah, it's fine.
God, that was insane. Carlos literally popping her kneecap back into place in the middle of a hotel parking lot on the way to a
It wasn't the
rave.
hotel parking lot, it was the apartment.
Oh, you're still
A parking lot.
Just had to clarify, it wasn't a hotel parking lot.
Nay,
all right?
nay. Nay, Alicia.
Oh.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you, because we've mentioned it a little bit in the beginning, just like any other genre of music, rock, rap, country, classical even,
Sure.
there's different subgenres, if you will.
Sure.
And I don't even know all of them. So I was hoping you could tell my audience a little bit more about that.
Carlos, I'm going to have you help me. 'cause
I got
there's a
you.
lot. So,
There's a lot.
so
And
we're
describe which each one kind of is so people kind of have an idea, if you will.
So we'll start with a few of the staples. You got your house music,
Yep.
which is most of the time is what will reach the radio. That's what most of the casual listener will hear first is house music.
Yeah.
And then there's dubstep. And then there's
Trance,
trance, drum and bass,
hardstyle.
drum and bass, and hardstyle. Yeah.
What is trance?
Trance would be considered like above and beyond, if anybody who knows what that is. Seven Lions is also trance to a point.
Okay.
He falls under because there is that's a subgenre.
That Seven Lions
it's
would be considered
side
a subgenre.
trance.
Side trance, yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So
And you said heavy bass?
Dubstep.
Dubstep.
And
So
then
heavy bass, you got your dubstep. If you want to talk like hard dance, you got your hard style. There's
Wasted Penguins is good hardstyle.
I love
hardcore.
Wasted Penguins.
That's uplifting hard style.
Yeah.
You have your hardcore. You have your what's Little Texas? What is that again?
Isn't Little Texas? I think that's considered like a hardcore kind of like.
It's there's a fucking A. I'll fucking Google it later. It's fine. Where was I? Oh yeah. Drum and bass. I'm not really too knowledgeable on
Infected Mushroom.
Yeah, okay. All
Infected
right.
Mushroom is considered drum and bass.
Fury and MC Dino.
Drum and
Absolute
bass.
fucking legends.
Yep.
Reaper.
So drum and bass is what if you were to consider drum and bass would be like a very melodic house with a deeper bass line, like a dubstep bass line, but just that.
Fun fact, I thought drum and bass was German bass for a very, very long time. Very long time.
German.
I thought it was German bass. That's what it sounds like when you say it.
9.
9 and 9.
That's what it sounds like to me. So
9.
when you'd say drum and bass, I'd be like, German bass, got it.
On
And then
that
I'd
note,
move on.
Why is it that German and like Dutch and sometimes even French sound so aggressive all the time?
German has to be the most aggressive fucking
Oh, for
language
sure.
I've ever
A
heard. in my
9?
life.
For sure.
So nice.
Austrian even, like maybe it's just the accents that they have, you know what I'm saying?
It is.
But you know, because like a lot of people don't know about all of that, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's a cliche, if you will, like people just going to festivals just to get fucked up, and that is true. Like any stigma has a grain of truth to it.
Get
But-
Freaky is definitely one of those festivals that it's kind of a hit and miss when it comes to it. For sure. Get Freaky is another local Utah festival that we get. It's a Halloween festival. So you can obviously expect that it's not going to be a very PLUR festival because it's one of those festivals that people are like, oh, it's a Halloween festival. I can go there. I can do a bunch of shit and I can just, whatever. So
Yeah.
it has been a very much hit and miss with the Get Freakies. They're still fun, but they're not as vibey as like DOS, DOS Energy,
Right,
Get Lucky.
right.
See, I don't like Get Lucky.
But you also had a really bad experience.
I've had 2 really bad
Well,
experiences.
wouldn't you guys agree that if it's a multiple day festival, like, because you could buy just one day ticket,
Oh,
if
definitely.
you will, that like second day, there's a lot more people who aren't necessarily into the community. They're
Yeah.
just there to get fucked up.
Yeah.
So the vibe from the first day could be completely different from the second day. You know what I mean? It's a whole different crowd and feel.
And honestly, that's why I'm really excited about the DOS lineup because there are so many people, so many ravers, air quote, around that were bitching and complaining about the DOS lineup because of the artists. And it's like, well, maybe if you expand your music range and you would know that there is a lot more.
Describe what PLUR means to you guys.
PLUR, peace, love. So I like to add an extra R to PLUR. Peace, love, unity, respect, and
Responsibility.
responsibility.
I
That's
like that.
yeah. Because honestly, it's oh fuck, I lost my train of thought. Carry on.
It is,
Carlos.
it's peace, it's love, it's unity, it's respect for each other, but it's also be responsible. You know,
Yeah.
take care of yourself, take care of others. You know, just don't be a shitty person.
Look out for each other.
Yeah,
Be a good person.
you know,
It's not hard.
It's not hard.
it's really not. Like it isn't, and that is the really good thing about the EDM community is that there is a more so than less really good people that do watch out for each other.
There's almost like a morale, if you
Yeah,
will.
definitely.
Yeah.
And it is, PLUR, sometimes it's not there. I mean, it is all PLUR till you get to the parking lot. Let's be honest.
I've said that on the show before. Yes. But I mean, and it also depends on like who you're seeing. Like some artists bring a different vibe, different crowd too.
Yep.
I wanted to mention those subgenres because that's important. Like when Brody was saying like his first show was Paradiso and Excision, and I was like, damn, that's intense. It's because Excision puts on like a hella fire show, but it is like
Heavy
metal mixed with.
It's not even metal. It's just incredibly
Dubstep,
heavy dubstep.
Yeah.
But I mean, like when you see videos of an entire crowd headbanging together in synchronicity, that's a kind of like crowd, if you will. Not that that's a bad thing, but that's what you're gonna expect if you go to that show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Heavy whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the lineup is pretty much that way as well. I mean, everyone is, like Tyler said, pretty versatile. Like with Excision, Sullivan King played a lot of, his heartfelt stuff, but it was like he'd play something, heartbreaking, and then he'd melt your face the next song. And it was like back to back. So like he had a perfect balance. And same with Wooly. He like came on and just obliterated my fucking brain and was awesome, but like he played a lot of his soft stuff too. And I think it's important to read your audience and the state that you're in too.
Trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Millennium
Trilogy.
in Vegas.
That man made us go from crying to complete stank bass face saying
There was a point where I was crying so hard that like I almost had to take a seat, and then he would drop something nasty and I'd start to headbang. I almost choked myself on my hair because it stuck to my face, and I was like, "It's okay, it's okay."
And when we mean heavy, like we've seen, I saw his Ascend tour like 4 times in 1 year for sure, but I don't remember his Ascend sets being that heavy.
He had fun.
He had a lot of fun on there.
He definitely played a lot more heavy shit during his trilogy set.
Is it the Ascend set for sure?
Well, he's probably trying to flex because everybody gives him shit.
Oh, of course.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks Millennium sad boy. Well, that sad boy will make you cry and he'll break your neck.
Well, that sad boy makes a lot of money, so I'm just saying. How would you say that the community has changed even since you've started raving?
So we actually were talking about this earlier, but the Kandi Kids, for sure, the Kandi Kids are a dying breed. There's not as many, but there are still.
I will never be a dying breed. I am a Kandi Kid.
My favorite Kandi Kid that I love to death, shout out to Anthony.
I love that guy.
Love that guy.
Shout out Anthony.
I love that man.
He is an amazing human in general. He is for sure a Kandi Kid, but
He makes music too.
he does Blind Owl.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what a Kandi Kid is, it's literally what you imagine when you think of rave kids, with the beads from wrist to above your elbow pretty much, and your pearlers and your cuffs. I've seen some crazy cuffs, like beaded cuffs. Yeah. I mean,
Eric, Colby, shout out to them. Crazy
shout out to
Kandi
them,
Kids.
dude.
They make some crazy.
They've made some of the craziest fucking cuffs I've ever seen in my entire life.
but on that note, it makes me sad that Kandi Kids are dying out, because that is a big, big part of PLUR. It's all about connection and bumping into someone, or, even someone that you love or know already, It's about passing along a part of your energy. And
Definitely.
you know, a lot of people who have a lot of candy will trade with anyone just to get more or to give it out. But some people like take that shit kind of seriously, if you will, you know?
Yeah.
It's a special thing. So some people don't trade with anyone and everyone. And I'd like to keep that going just because if it goes away, who's to say that
I don't think
PLUR won't go away?
I don't think candy kids as a whole are really a dying breed. It's just a matter of fact that it is a very time consuming.
Oh, for sure.
Very,
and beads are expensive.
You know, and it's let's
The
be
material-
honest. A lot of us
I
are
feel
balling.
like-
A lot of us are balling on a budget.
I feel like the scene's just become more mainstream now.
That as
so
well.
people just go because they think it's going to be fun and a party and they can kind of get away with whatever they want to do. And I mean, it's something to do on a weekend. So
I can see that. I can see it like
Well, that's what I mean by
it is in fact reaching a wider audience.
Yeah, day
you know?
2 brings a different vibe. That's what I mean. Like anyone who's
Because
bored or not doing anything hears about it and is like, oh, well, that could be fun. You know, like let's go check it out. And I don't know. It usually is a different vibe. I get lost easier on day 2s and 3s.
there's always a lot more people.
A lot more.
Some people
remember that.
sell their candy.
There are people that make candy and sell them for the people that they want to make candy to trade or they want to have candy to trade, but they can't. They just can't find the time to do it.
Right.
You know, because making a normal candy bracelet is a really easy way to have candy, to make friends, to... I know, I keep hearing myself stay away from the mic, and I'm like, I gotta come more this way.
You're good.
You know, a really easy way to just make really quick candy, really quick beads. You know, you can make 50 of those in an hour if you really wanted to. And it gives you something to trade with people that you meet or the people that you really vibe with, or just in general, as to where trying to make... you know, a cuff, even just a normal 2D cuff with a print on it of like an alien or something on it.
Right.
You know, you're easily 2.5, 3 hours for just that one cuff.
Right.
And then you move into trying to do a 3D cuff or a saucer cuff or a carousel cuff
I don't
or,
know what any of that is.
bunch of word cuffs.
like I said, I was a candy kid at one point, and I still am a candy kid. Like, I really do want to get back into making the
Help me
cuffs
make
and
some Hard Talks candy, Carlos. Let's go. 50 in an hour.
It really is possible though. Like if you've gotten fast enough at it and you get the system down, you can literally just start knocking out
Yeah.
singles, like single candies in just out,
The hard
out.
part is like pulling out all the letters because I swear to God they do that as a marketing ploy.
They do.
They don't
They do.
put
They do it on purpose.
enough vowels.
So,
E's.
yeah,
E's are the
there's-
hardest letter to
So
find.
I found Amazon. You just buy bulk letters of each, and then you just open them up, and you have A, B, C, D, E all the way through and
Okay,
through.
well, I need
really
that
smart.
because I need to spell out Hard Talks podcast, and it's not a short message. So you can imagine pulling out.
Okay,
Each
so
letter
I'll
for
send,
that.
I'll send the Amazon link for whatever letters you need. We'll
And
just
when
do,
I get it, you're gonna come over. I'll
Yes.
provide tacos and beer.
It's got to be a seltzer. I don't drink very much beer anymore. It doesn't sit right with my
Me
stomach.
either. Okay.
I have an idea for you to connect with your audience.
Yes.
You have a P.O. box?
Nope.
Okay. You should get a P.O. box and have them make them and send them to you and put their name on them.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
that too.
It's true.
Because they can make one, and then you can have a bunch of different ones.
Different styles, different things,
Yeah,
different ways.
might be fun.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Might be a fun-
person who makes the most dope Hard Talks podcast candy will win a T-shirt.
Yeah.
So you candy kids hearing that, right? You got to make a cuff that says Hard Talks on it.
Not
or
even a cuff.
perler,
Just
really anything.
yeah,
But,
anything.
Yeah, Perler too.
I mean, find something cool. Send it in. think
I
that'd be
love that
fun.
idea. I don't have a PO box, but if you
Get
guys
a PO
email
box.
into Hard Talks with bnh@gmail.com, we can figure it out. So, yeah, no.
Send it.
Send it. So, with the stigmas and stereotypes that surround the EDM culture,
Out of the hundreds, which ones are we talking about?
so when I finally went to my first rave, I was very nervous you know, biggest stereotypes I heard were from my mother. Don't get drugged. Don't do drugs. And don't get stuck by a needle in a crowd. That was straight up a thing at the time when I started raving. I don't know why. You know, people were concerned about that. What does that mean?
I mean, like I said, I've been in the scene since 2014, and I've never heard the roofied part and getting drugged.
No,
and,
I'm just saying that's a stereotype I
Yeah.
heard. And then I went and it was one of the most liberating experiences I ever had, because I
100%.
just got out of a divorce and I got to walk out feeling like a goddess and just dance
having the time of your life, no worries, just living your best life.
Dance all my negative energy
Yep.
away and connect with new, genuine people. And two, you know, I didn't meet a bad single soul. The first entire rave I went to, I was surrounded by really great people. And I will say that if you go into a situation like this thinking you're going to find that stereotype or stigma, you will. Okay, so there are shady people in anything that you do. Go to a fucking country festival, okay? I'm serious.
You're not wrong.
We were comparing like Country Fan Fest or Country Jam to like EDC a couple episodes ago. And really, the biggest difference is, you know, there's a stereotype that drugs are connected with the scene, which, you know, some of the time that's true. But how many times do you go to a country festival and everybody's just obliterated shit-faced off of alcohol?
99.9999999% of the time.
Anybody who's anyone that's ever been to like a Luke Bryan concert, for example, knows.
Sloshed.
Yeah.
Everyone's sloshed.
Absolutely fucking sloshed.
No, but she's not wrong. You know, country concert. I've been to one country concert, and it was a Florida Georgia Line concert.
That would have been fun.
It was fun, except dealing with all the drunk country people. I'm not gonna all the drunk rednecks, country boys, hicks, whatever you want to call them.
What about Warped Tour, Brody?
Warped Tour vibes are
not entirely different vibes.
entirely different vibes.
Entirely different vibes.
Same when I went. So I went to Drake versus Lil Wayne.
Ooh.
That was fun.
Ooh.
That was fun. But everything has its different vibe, you know. Country Fan Fest, sloshed. Not Country Fan Fest, but like country concerts that I've been to. Everyone's sloshed. Everyone's
Warped
trying
Tour,
to
Streets
show
of
whose dick is bigger, trying to be, you know, macho man,
Bro.
whatever it may be.
My first, so I've never been to a country show,
Okay.
but I've been to plenty of rap
You
shows.
should go. They're fun.
They are fun.
I'm not
for sure.
shitting on
Oh,
them.
no,
They're
no,
they
a
are
lot
100%
of fun.
fun.
I believe you. But my first rap show I ever went to was, don't make fun of me, G-Eazy's Endless Summer Tour. Fucking
Yes, I'm so jealous, dude. I wanted to
It
go
was his-
so bad.
it
Oh,
was-
I was gonna say Carlos was there. So
no, I wanted
so
to go.
fucking
but
fire. It was so great. I got secondhand high like a motherfucker.
Of
at
course,
that show.
of course.
It was crazy. It was so good though.
Dirty
My-
Heads was that way, but
That's reggae. That's a given.
I'm aware.
Reggae
okay?
festivals
I'm just,
Reggae Rise Up,
are
100%.
the shit.
is a
Okay,
good
any
vibe.
festival is the shit. It's a big bucket list thing, even though it's not environmentally friendly and people don't like it anymore. But Burning Man,
Yes. I want to go
would
to Burning
pay
Man.
money to go to Burning Man.
Didn't Noah say that if we wanted to go to Burning Man, she would show us the ropes of Burning Man?
There's like a Utah version of Burning Man.
Oh yeah, it's called Element 11.
My dad went to
Yeah.
that.
So
He said it was an excuse for a lot of people his age, mid 50s, to get naked and have orgies in the desert.
I believe it.
I
He
believe
saw,
it.
I
he
believe
saw,
it 100%.
this is straight from Pop's mouth. Hard Talks Pop.
I love Pops.
Yeah, Brody's the one that told him he must wake up and piss excellent, and that just went straight to his head.
Hey man, you gotta boost the ego.
gotta
You
boost
don't
the
have
ego.
to boost his ego, honey. Trust me. Good Lord. Anyways, he went out there because his girlfriend, the psycho one of the triplets, was a security guard for this event. Yes, she's beefy.
I like when I first met you, it was twins, and now it's triplets.
Well, because he's never fucked the third one, and he's disappointed in himself. But it's because she's currently incarcerated. So, my bad. Anyways, He went because his girlfriend at the time was working the event, but she's busy, so he's just meandering about, minding his business, and he bumps into this like 200-pound, well, more than that. It was like 300 because he was morbidly obese. And at first, like, I thought that his belly just covered his penis. But then I realized that he had a micro dick.
Those are real?
Those are real, man. And he was just like, I couldn't help but like shake the man's hand because he was introducing himself. And I was just like thinking in my head, this is the most confident man in the world. Like,
Shout out to him though.
I know.
Like the amount of.
What would that look like?
What do you mean?
Well,
Google it later, Hannah. It's
I don't want
minuscule.
to. I don't want it. And I don't.
It's
want
a
to
tiny little penis.
It's like
like a child, like a baby, or like
Like, have you ever seen The Hangover?
think of like a
Yeah.
think of like a baby carrot.
Yeah, you know when Chow jumps out of the trunk and he's naked and you
Yes.
see his tiny little penis? Like, think of, like, yeah.
Could you have sex with that?
Probably not.
Well, I mean, you
Doubt-
can try.
Doubt.
I'm sure they get off, but I mean,
Doubt
How?
Doubtful.
well, rubbing it.
With your
Anyway.
pinky?
No, like, well,
I thought that was a myth.
No.
I didn't know they were real.
Like, it's
No, they're
it's
no, they
still
are very much real.
stimulated, and it's a regular penis.
How-
It's just
how do
very
they
small.
pee?
It's a normal
I'm
penis.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just.
You're in the
Hannah.
medical field.
I don't care. Yeah, with bones, with hips. Okay, I don't know shit about genitals.
Carlos, is a micro penis real?
I don't know. Is it?
Yes, it is. Moving on.
Anyway,
Fucking A.
I'm sorry. I really didn't know.
It's okay.
I mean, I've
more
heard,
you know.
I've heard about it, but like I didn't know.
Oh my god.
Hannah's curiosity is calling.
I'm sorry.
You don't want to look up
No, I don't.
what she looks up.
Well,
Okay.
I won't look it up. That's why I asked.
You know
I
what's
think
gonna
you
happen
will
when
when
we
you
get home?
can't sleep.
She's gonna. You know what's gonna happen when
I
we get
won't
home?
look it up.
She's gonna fucking interrogate me about it when we get home.
No, I won't.
And then she's gonna be like, I don't know, something.
It's going to be
and
on
then-
your search history.
Yeah, and then
show
she's gonna
her.
be like, babe, what is it? And I'm like, oh my fucking god, I guess I'll just fucking Google it. Micro penis. Here you go. That's what it looks like. And she'll be like, oh my god, I didn't need to see that.
It's mostly bush if they don't shave.
That's sad.
Like
Baby carrot.
Literally.
Baby carrot.
It's got about the girth of a baby carrot.
Baby carrot.
I'd say.
Yeah,
Not that I've
that's fair, right?
Seen one or
Is
anything,
that fair?
But yeah,
I feel like that's
think
fair.
that's fair. That is fair.
Baby carrot.
My point was,
Anyways, back
She
on
got
track
it.
here.
She saw the vision.
No, I had a different thought, but I'm
okay.
gonna leave it alone.
there are
Okay.
festivals for every walk of life, and that's my point. And back to Tyler's post, it's versatile and brings
Diversity.
exactly any and all. Like I was saying, and
But we don't have orgies at raves. Let's just put that out.
No.
there.
Actually,
No.
I
Do not.
Yes,
I have a
Do
story.
not
I
put
have
it
to.
out there.
I have to.
There,
Yeah,
I
I
have a-
have to.
I have a
It
story
was
to
only
share.
one time, but it was it was EDC 2018 when me and Hope, it was Slushy set. You know where I'm going with this.
Brody already knows they're pointing at each other.
I think it's the exact same story I was
So
thinking about.
it
was during Res.
No, it was. Then it must have been two different times, dude. Because me and Hope saw this. We were running up to try to get to Slushy.
Oh, I saw this at Res.
I don't know. I saw
We have different stories.
So maybe
Oh my
orgies
God,
do
go.
happen at raves, but
Okay,
you know.
bigger festivals. You know, EDC. I mean,
Never happened at Lost Lands.
Electric Daisy
well,
Carnival.
I mean, you had the guy that ate the ass at Lost Lands.
Not at my time. Was it when I went?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, there
but
was-
anyways,
yeah.
hang on. So me and Hope, shout out to Hope, love her.
Love you, Hope.
We're at EDC 2018. We're having fun. We're kind of in the back, and then we're like, hey, let's get closer. So we start running up through the crowd, and then all of a sudden we see a big circle open. We're like, oh, okay, cool. We're gonna cut through this circle real quick because it might turn into a mosh pit or something. And we get there, and I respect everyone's pronouns. I respect everything, but it was just a really.
We also respect eating ass. So
yes, it was just a really quick. We walk in, we look, we instantly turn around because we didn't know what we saw, who we saw. All we know, it was one person on the ground in like a backwards spider monkey position, like full reverse sprawl, and then another person on top doing some weird,
can you?
Would that be considered a gangbang or an orgy? Because I
Neither-
thought orgy
ne-
meant multiple people
No,
having
neither-
sex.
neither.
And gangbang was like obvious.
I wasn't going for the orgy. I was just saying there are sexual things that happen during
A
it.
thing is usually 3 people. I learned that from Sarah's reading today.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And so
Sounds like it was a gangbang though.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I
no.
literally, it was literally only a quick. We walk in, we see a quick glimpse of what's going on.
You see
and
things and then you run away.
we turn around and we're
I
like,
would scream. You'd see me and I'd be like, ah! And I'd leave. I would leave.
I mean,
absolutely.
This is where festivals are fun because you got people hyping them up. You got people straight going, woo!
Nobody cares.
Hype,
Harder. Eat that ass, boy.
Your face isn't buried enough.
So we turn around, we walk back, and we just kind of stay in the back and say that just happened.
Brody, what did you see?
Fucking A.
What did you see?
Well, same festival, EDC 2018, and I was.
That was not the year to go. I guess.
That was
not.
definitely the year to go. That was a great year.
That was the fucking year to go, man. That was where it was at. That year
That was such a blast.
crazy. Anyway, this was day 2 during Rez's set, and I'm with my other group of friends, whatever, and we're making our way through the crowd. Some of them aren't feeling it. They're like, oh, I want to turn around and leave. I'm like, hey, later, bye, whatever. I don't fucking care. I'm fucking going up there. And so
that's how it goes.
me and like one or two of my other friends, I don't remember. There were a couple of us. We start making our way to the front, to the rail, and there was like this huge crowd of fucking people around the rail. Like they were just like usually there's people on the rail, but where this was happening, there was obviously
A lot.
space.
Yeah.
There was obviously more space than there
Normally is.
I
got you.
at the rail.
I got you.
I didn't get a good look. At all. I just saw there was a girl sitting on the rail towards the crowd.
Yep.
You know what clip I'm talking about.
I know which one you're talking about.
I found out the next day via EDM Twitter that same girl was getting eaten out on the rail.
Yep.
Yeah.
I support that.
Can I be real with you guys for a second?
And
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I've been fingered at a rave before.
It's not surprising. It happens more often than you think.
Well, all you need is to be in front and have a cloak on, and things can happen.
Yeah.
And the music is great, and you're feeling each other, and you're all connected, and there's this feeling of synchronicity, if you will, especially with the person that you're with, and you're in those skimpy outfits. Pretty easy to just whoops.
yep.
Yep.
Relate.
Brody, you got a mission. You got a task.
I don't know
Das
why you
is
gotta call
next
me out like
weekend.
that.
And we have Lost Lands, so. And we have Set the Sky.
I have something, let the sexual tension build. I have something that maybe she'll get to look forward to. Wink, wink.
I still can't believe
Leave it
that
on her
we're
noggin.
full sending the way we're full sending when we just going back to festivals real quick. But just with September coming up and DOS Energy coming up and how we basically have festivals lined up every other week.
Every 2
Yeah,
weeks.
you really outdid yourself this year, huh?
I did.
Yeah.
That I did.
I couldn't do it. I would have gone broke from
Oh, I am fucking broke.
all the. It's not.
Do you know how
guys.
fucking broke I am? I'm negative $400 in my account right now. That's how broke I am.
Brody?
Yeah, I'm fucking broke.
Yeah, I
What
worked.
happened to the responsible part of PLUR?
That only counts at a festival.
That only counts when you're there.
Means responsibility
My
for
financial
yourself.
responsibility is down the fucking toilet.
Granted,
Well, I mean, it wasn't your fault. It was more your bank's fault.
Yeah, true.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
And granted, I am turning.
Just fucking with you.
I'm turning 25, so I have full blown reason.
Welcome to the club.
Yes, sir. 25 plus raver. Let's go.
Club.
Oh, I'm already plus. So shut up.
But I just figured, everything started lining up.
Your discount yet.
Shut up.
Everything started lining up as when they, COVID started kind of going on. It's not gone, but everyone started getting the vaccine. Shows started happening, and then all of a sudden, just fire show after fire show after fire show started happening, and I'm like, you know what?
Well, here's the thing. Me and you are really responsible. Again, we're the responsible ones.
Hey.
Okay. When it comes to planning, Alicia, you are
We're
very
really good planners.
responsible.
We've decided this.
But when it comes to shows, we are the worst influence on each other because you'll be like, no, and I'll be like, but yes. And then, or vice versa, you'll be like, we can't, I'm like, we can't do that.
This is
swing it.
achievable.
And then he'll be like, yes, we can. And I'm like,
What is the one that you sent the group?
Wait, what do you mean?
fuck.
The $3,000 a person one.
oh, that's
Excisions
Excision.
in Cancun.
I was like,
What is it called?
Carlos,
Blue
you're
Paradise?
high.
Blue Paradise
Paradise Blue.
We spent
That's what it's called.
$3,000 on, or close to,
for Lost Lands. So I've got
A person?
no total.
It's the same with that. It's
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought
it's
you
that-
said $3,000 a person,
No.
and I was
hell
like,
no.
No. So
Probably close to
Paradise Blue, which is Excision's Cancun show, is about $3,000 to $4,000 for the entire thing, and that's split 4 ways, and that's about what we spent to go to Lost Lands. So it's definitely achievable, and that's also another reason why, where I'm going to Set the Sky Red Rocks, which you're coming with,
in Denver,
In
in
Denver.
Colorado.
and then after that it's Second Sky in California for Porter Robinson, then Lost Lands,
Yep.
and then Millennium Red Rocks.
Talk about sad boy. Like, I love Porter, but people want to call Millennium sad boy. I think Porter's more sad boy vibe to me. To me, that's my opinion. Don't shit on me, guys.
No. Porter is definitely sad boy, but it's not really a sad boy kind of
Well, it's like
vibe.
happy shit, but it's like, I don't know, kind of got a melancholic feel, if you will.
When I listen to Porter, for some reason I automatically think of Smashing Pumpkins.
Interesting.
Huh.
Like as far as like the feeling of like melancholy and euphoria. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like his lyrics aren't always sad. They're usually pretty happy, but it's just very mellow and which is great. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know,
And honestly, like Porter, I'm really glad he did the whole virtual self thing, because it's because of virtual self that we got Nurture.
There's,
well, I'm glad that you
with that, yeah, I think when I remember talking to Holden on our balcony, and he was trying to explain to me the aliases, and I was like, well, why, if he wants to have like an experimental album, like, I'm so sorry.
You're good.
But I was like, why would he just not put out like a different album? And he was like, because it's not the vibe.
It's exactly because Porter is Porter. Porter is known for shelter.
Well, and I didn't
language.
know the crowd that, like, I didn't quite grasp, like, when you go to an Millennium show versus an Excisions show, or a Porter show versus a virtual self show, that it would bring different people in. I didn't get that. So I was just like, well, and he sat there, I remember, for like 45 minutes, like, this is how it works. And I was like, but
This is how it works. We've had
Okay.
Holden on the show. He's on our psychedelics episode, which if you didn't listen to that, you definitely should, because it's great. I had a point I was going to run with. To your point, throughout quarantine, like, the EDM community, DJs, producers, and everything were forced to, expand their reach in the sense of virtual shows. And that was actually really cool to see, because even though we couldn't all be together in person, they were still ongoing. And there were some great sets that I'd seen over quarantine off of Twitch.
Yep.
Yep. And
even still to this day, there's a lot of pages and channels on Twitch that are still doing
Yeah,
it.
well, I've been kind of tripping about them trying to cancel DOS with the Delta variant becoming worse. Where it's next week, though, I'm like, no, they gotta wait
It's
one more
literally-
week.
I mean, to be so honest with you, if they wanted to cancel it,
They would have done it already.
they would have already done it. And they probably wouldn't have announced the lineup.
That's true.
The times.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
But, like, I don't know.
DOS is a full swing. It's coming in, and we gonna have a great time.
It's gonna be great. DOS Energy 2021.
Yo, shout out V2 really quick for hanging on through the pandemic and
Seriously though, for not really throwing anything.
They didn't throw anything at all during no live stream, no nothing.
But to be,
V2 events,
I really
But-
think that V2 probably took the time to, because Excision was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I heard Get Funky was a really
Get
really
Funky was a vibe.
good, yeah. So
That was a good
I really
show.
think that V2 took the time during the pandemic to really kind of button up the loose ends that the festivals were having.
I agree with that
I agree.
statement.
I agree. I mean,
We won't really know until DOS,
yeah.
but I really do think that they probably took that just from feeling out Excision, even though I only went for one day, but just hearing everyone's, how they said Excision went and how they said Get Funky went and things like that. I really do believe that V2 finally got a handle on kind of buttoning up the little, not that they had very many loose ends, but there was things that they could work on for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I went to Electric
Powwow.
Yeah, which was cool. It's a camping festival up at Causey Reservoir. But it was put on by Dope Soul Entertainment, and I'm not shitting on them in any way, shape, or form. They're a local entertainment company, but they're just starting out. And to what you said, like you could just tell there was a lot. Like you could tell it was a young entertainment company. You know what I mean? There were a lot of loose ends. There were small things like we're in the middle of nature and there's quite a stretch between stages. No lights, pitch black. You can't see shit. And it just, they were not staffed as well as they should have been. Like a lot of people didn't know which way was up, event wise. They were supposed to start at certain times the next day, and then the person wasn't there to meet, and so just a little bit of disorganization, and that's okay because despite those small things, they put on a sick event. Their laser show alone was absolutely incredible, and I was talking to one of the event coordinators. His name's Buzz. Shout out to you, Buzz. But he was just saying, we contracted out this light show totally separate from the lineup and everything else because we saw it in a catalog, what it could do. And we were like, we need that. And that alone with the live music, they are going places, but yeah.
And same with the guy Mutiny Music Collective that did the Roll and Rave, and then they did Singularity.
Yeah.
Singularity was hands down a vibe.
It was so much fun.
That shit was so
That was my
fucking
birthday rave.
That was
One
such
of the
a
best
vibe.
raves I have ever been to.
And he came and talked to us and even told us that he's like, I wanted to keep doing this even though he lost a lot on Roll and Rave and there was a lot of mishaps with Roll and Rave and whatnot, but he's like, I wanted to come back stronger. I wanted he told us about this.
Yeah.
And really cool dude. I totally forgot his name, but really, really, really cool dude. And he's throwing smaller shows, and things like that. But, it's really cool to see how things are always panning out and changing. And
Right. It's cool to see the production side of it because we have several members in our rave fam who are aiming to be producers, Brody being one of them. And then we have a couple other friends. Our friend Haley is Neon Drip. Serena.
she's killing it, by the way.
She is killing it. Crystal, and a werewolf,
Logan.
to name a few. And
Anthony.
Oh yeah, Blind Owl, the homie Anthony.
yeah,
I have his merch.
it's really cool to kind of get a behind scenes look at, how they're able to put on these events, because it's not just a bunch of noise. Like,
No,
there's
not at
so
all.
much work that goes into production and fine tuning,
Lights, sound, like it's a fucking lot.
effects, visuals.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my first show, I didn't get any visuals. I got some like wonky ass lights, and that was it.
But you still threw
Well,
down.
Was that at the gay bar?
It was at what used to be Club Sound.
Okay.
It's not there anymore.
Yeah.
It's closed down. But yeah, that was where my first show was, and it was fucking phenomenal.
Brody had
It was great.
played a show at a gay bar, which was fantastic. They had cages that you could dance in, and I was being a little ridiculous. But to this day, like, they had condoms that you could take and like fish bowls that had the coolest graphics on the wrappers. It was like all graffitied, and then it was like, don't stop. And to this day, I still have that condom in my wallet. And the person I've been seeing was like, why don't we ever use this? I'm like, you can't use this. It's so old. For one, it'll break. Two, it's too awesome.
It's
like,
sentimental.
yeah. That's what I took away from your show. Every time I see it in my wallet, I think of you.
Aw.
Aw.
Sorry, Hannah.
Aw.
Fucking condom.
Head tilt.
She's killing me. I got a snap of her. You guys are having a good conversation. She's in this corner, like making mad faces the whole time.
I had nothing to add, so I was just like,
Just gonna chill
I
over there.
just
I'm
here.
just here for emotional support if you need me.
No, so before we wrap it up, I think the biggest thing I wanted to get across, and the main reason I wanted to do this, is because you guys have been asking, but mostly because there's nothing to be afraid of.
So my advice I give everybody when they're first going to a show, and this is what I told my sister when I took her to her first show.
I don't want to leave it there.
No, I know. Okay.
Because that sounded bad. Like, you shouldn't be afraid, because like the stigmas that some people hear are scary and intense. But like, as long as you're going with good people and you go knowing that you're gonna have a good time and catch good vibes, like, you're gonna find nothing but a pure time.
You're gonna give whatever you look for is what you're gonna get. Same with same in
Exactly.
life, same with festivals, same with anything you do.
Same with any other concert you go to.
Yeah, anything. If you're looking for something, you're gonna find it.
Exactly.
You know, it's kind of how the universe works. It's kind of how everything manifests.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but
What was your advice?
basically what I tell everyone before they go to a show, their first show, I tell them this: everything you think you know about raves, you don't. Throw it out the window. Throw it out the window, because it's not what everyone in the outside world makes it out to be.
Yeah, it's not this bad, dirty party scene. Like, it's
Absolutely
no.
not.
You go and, like I said, it's so liberating to feel good in your own skin and
To be yourself, to
Yes.
let loose, to literally just go be with the people you love, enjoy
be
the music,
accepted.
be accepted, and literally just not have a single worry or care in the world.
yeah, shape, size, color,
Yeah.
background, what you do for a living. It
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter. Doesn't matter. Everyone's there for the same reason, to get out that negative energy and to take away something bigger.
For those 2-3 days at the festival, you have nothing to worry about except having the time of your life.
Yeah. And being with good people.
Being with the people you love, yeah.
Yeah. It really is such a beautiful thing.
It really is.
It really is. I mean, I literally am getting chills. Like, it brings, like Carlos said earlier, a sense of unity to to people. And it's so funny when you find someone who's into the same thing or the same artist and you're like, oh my God, like our friend group even too, like, cause a lot of us like to wander and then we all usually come back at one point in the night. And it's like, even with us, like I'll find the group and it's like, we're strangers. They'll run up to me like, oh my God, like we found each other again. Like, and it's just, there's just so much love to be shared and not in a
orgy way.
Unless you go looking for it, it will have you.
I mean, even if you're not looking for it, you may just run into it depending on the festival.
I will say too, I want to add to that really quick. I've never seen anyone fucking at a show, but like what I described happening to me, I have seen that happen, but in reverse, like girl will be in front of the guy, she'll be grinding on him, dancing, and then all of a sudden her hands disappear. And the guy is suddenly in ecstasy, and it's like, well, let's just turn our heads and ignore that, you know?
No, you know what? No, can I just touch on that for a second?
Yeah.
What do you do about that mess? Because if he nuts in his shorts, like
you better pray. You better pray that you're like conscious enough, or you're just in that right state of mind that you're like, okay, stop.
Or do you think at that point he has the fucking dexterity to whip that shit out of his shorts and onto the floor?
I don't think he cares.
Do you think?
Doubt it.
Or do you think he just?
I think he just
not
takes
care?
it and jizzes in his pants on the backside of his lady.
I could fucking never.
Or man.
I could never.
Yeah.
I could never.
You would have to stop about 3/4 of the way and just be like, nah.
You were never 13 and accidentally nutted in your pants?
I was. Yeah.
And you're traumatized. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. I
all been
I'd wake up and I'd be like,
Ask any guy.
yeah. Ask any
guy.
Ask your dad.
Yeah. Any guy.
Yeah. Any
You know
guy.
what the worst thing about that is he would tell me.
Yeah, he fucking would. And he would tell you the same thing. Like, I would just wake up and be like, ew, that's fucking gross.
Never
And
again.
I would just change and I'd be like, oh, wow, I feel better. Okay. And just carry on with my day.
Yep.
Damn it. Oh.
Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. I just
way off track.
I love that. But you gotta wonder too. I mean, it's like, just let them have their moment, like let them enjoy it. But at the same time, it's like, you get any rowdier, my guy, it's like, I'm either gonna have to step 10 yards forward or 10 yards that way. Like,
I might have to get out of the what is it? The field of
splash
the
zone?
splash.
yeah, I don't want to smell your stank, even though everyone else is. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, we've literally like all shared hotel rooms. We've like crammed so many people in hotel rooms before.
13 people at once. That's our record.
Yeah, with 2 beds. Okay.
3 beds. 3 beds because it was 2 queen beds, a sofa bed, and then we also had 2 air mattresses.
Either way,
set
it
up.
didn't
But
matter. But by the time we got back to the show, because most festivals end at 2, we get back to the hotel room, and it's like you could cut the stank with a knife. Like there was like
It smelled like rave.
it literally.
One time Brody said I smelled like rave. Like I'll never ever forget that.
What we mean by smells like rave, like it's like a mix of Tiger Balm, Vicks, sweat.
It does smell like Tiger Balm,
Vicks,
and sweat though. Sometimes shame. If
Depending
you're like me and
depending on what went on that night, a little bit of shame can be smelled in the room.
If you're like me and Carlos, who are bad influences on each other and drink like fish,
you already know.
then I turn into the serial makeout Molly. And DOS 2 years ago, I think Serena was keeping track for me because
You lost count.
I didn't care. But as we're leaving, she's like, I'm happy for you. You really got out and met new people, but you made out with like 14. And I was like, hopefully no one had the hurt because that is for life. Anyway, there's that. Yikes.
That happened.
Never fucked at a festival. I guess there's always time for that.
There's always tomorrow.
Porta potties hit different.
Me and Carlos have been planning the festival up in Canada
Ever After.
for years now, and it has yet come to pass.
Well, I mean, for the
It's
last,
expensive, Alicia.
it is expensive.
So is
and
Lost
the,
Lands.
And the last,
Shut up.
and the last 2 years it's been canceled. It even got canceled for this year. So it's definitely a possibility for next year.
That for me though is because, you know, I'm getting to an age where it's like I don't want to just spend money to go to festivals. I want to go and travel. You know what I mean? I want to go see the world. And so I'm really into the festivals that are in Europe, even though a lot of the festivals that they have in Europe are like more heavy metal.
Well, you got Tomorrowland.
But yeah, I mean, like
DEFCON 1.
DEFCON 1.
There's Canada.
Greenfields.
Yep.
There's the one in Cancun. There's a few that they have in Cancun.
So Elenium's doing his Ember Shores in Cancun. And then Excision obviously doing Paradise Blue.
Rez just had one in Cancun last month, I think.
Did she have a Cancun show?
Yeah, she did. I don't know. What
I don't remember that.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm more getting to the phase where I'm interested in traveling and making a trip out of it.
And that's where, you know, when I went, shout out to Autumn. She's an amazing human. I freaking love her.
She's a part of our rave fam.
Yes. And she was the one that dragged me out to go to Canada. And she planned it all out. She just said, buy your ticket, buy your plane ticket. I will map everything out. You know, you pay half, we'll send it. I'm like, okay. And we turned it into a full-blown trip. And I mean a full-blown trip.
Yeah.
Like we landed in the States. We landed in Buffalo, got a rental car, drove into Canada. We walked around Ontario for a little bit. We ate good food. And then the next day we went to, it's called Canada's Wonderland. So it's like Six Flags for Canada. And it's so much fun. And I mean, like, I had the time of my life. And then we had this like super, and I mean, this pizza was like dank.
Dank.
dank pizza. And then after that, we ended up going to Ever After for 3 days. And then the next day we just drove back and, you know, got on our planes and went home. But we definitely turned it into a trip. And even when we went to, I honestly.
You're good.
Oh, I really do enjoy making a trip out of festivals, you know, because, you know, you want to go for the festival, but you also want to enjoy time. You also want to have fun. And that's where, you know, it becomes more than just going to festivals. If you can plan a travel trip while going to festivals like we did for Trilogy, you know, it just makes it that much more fun, especially with the people you go with. You know, when you can plan a day or 2 days to explore, to have fun, to enjoy, to go do certain things that you know, that the place has to offer.
Yeah.
It just makes it that much more fun. So like for Set the Sky, that's got to be a quick in out, you know, whatever it's going to be for us.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm still going to take you guys to a dank breakfast
Update,
place.
I have Labor Day off, but it's too late now.
I know. And honestly, at this point, with how hard I'm going to be sending it, I would like to come back that Sunday. But I have Labor Day off too, so I want to take you guys to this really good breakfast place in downtown Denver.
Down. Down.
Before we leave.
Okay.
And then we'll obviously make the drive back. We'll end up getting back like around 11 o'clock, depending on what time we get to breakfast. But it's fine. We have Labor Day off.
Yeah.
The plan is still us four in my car, yeah?
Yes.
Even though I have a small gas tank.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
So, but back to the whole thing. Just, yes. Making a trip out of your festival trips, 10/10 recommend every single time.
I feel like that's kind of important though, because like when you plan like the initial festival trip, like I'm just gonna throw it out there, say Tomorrow World or Tomorrowland in Belgium.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I would
2-week trip easily.
Yeah, it's an easy
That's
2-week
barely
trip.
enough time too.
It really is though.
Yeah.
And even for Canada, right? So when we went to Ever After, honestly, there was so much more we could have, like, yes, we were able to go to Niagara Falls, ride the boats.
That's what I want.
We were able to go to Canada's Wonderland and all of that, you know, because we planned it out just right. But there's so much more we could have done, but we didn't have time because we didn't take, you know, enough time. I mean, granted, we took a week off to do this because it's a 9-hour flight there and then, you know, breakfast, whatever.
Lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And then, when you come back, especially with Ever After being as heavy as Ever After is, because every single year that lineup never disappoints. And I mean never. It's called Ever After for a reason, because it's dream lineups every single year.
Yeah.
And if I were to explain Ever After to you guys, I would basically say, like, if EF, Electric Forest, and EDC were to come together and have a tiny little baby, that's Ever After for you.
Would it be a tiny little baby, though? I think
w-
it'd be a big baby.
I mean, the festival grounds, we were able to walk. It's only 2 stages. We were able to walk most of it in 10 minutes, if that, 5 minutes, if that. It's not.
Goals.
But they do have a water park. So they have a water park. They have the 1 stage, and then they have the 2nd stage. And they got like a Ferris wheel and a couple of carnival rides, carnival games. Then they got a little forest that you can walk through with like bars.
Well, and that's a really cool thing about those out-of-state or country multiple-day festivals is they have a lot of events going on throughout the day, meditation sessions, yoga sessions. At Lost Lands, the year that you guys went, there was even like a producer's class where you could get to meet the artists and they'd show you some shit on your shit. Yeah.
And
So it's cool.
yeah, and when we went to Lost Lands, our first year, they had, like you said, they had meditation classes. They had yoga every morning, and they even had something like just random classes throughout the days, throughout the weekend. Like one of them was like finding your twin soul or something like that. Twin flame.
I love that.
That's just an example of one, but there's just a lot like that.
And that comes into the territory with a lot of these bigger 3-day camping festivals, because even EDC, you had goat yoga, you had regular yoga, you had meditation,
Go-karts.
Fuck yeah.
Not the year that we went together, they had go-karts, but the year that I actually went and camped, which was 2019, they didn't have the go-karts anymore. They had a roller rink though.
Ooh.
See, and that sounds so much fun. And I think, like, again, like, the biggest point I wanted to drive home with this episode is life is so short. Like,
Have fun.
yeah, just expand your mind. Like,
But-
there's so many subgenres to this genre, just like anything else, that if you dive in a little, I guarantee that you'll be able to find something that you thoroughly enjoy.
Easily.
For random shit too. Like, I am a big I need good music when I drive. And one of the biggest people I love for long drives is Odessa, just because it's gets you in your feels and it's very relaxed. And honestly, it reminds me of like spa music sometimes, depending on the song. So it's not just all heavy. Like, there's so much beauty to it, and the artistry behind it is really
Beautiful.
There's always something
for everybody.
for everyone.
Even my parents. My dad at first, good example. My dad at first he doesn't like dubstep. He's not really big into like the dubstep and everything like that. But I throw on some Alan Walker.
I love Alan Walker.
He loves Alan Walker. I throw on, that kind of, Porter Robinson. Elenium's older stuff. Yes. His newer stuff. My dad,
Yeah.
stuff like that. My mom's really into like Calvin Harris, Cascade, artists like that. Just really housey, but not too housey.
Like club music.
Like club music, yeah.
My dad likes anything that he can throw a beat down to because he's a drummer. And I never ever thought that I'd get him to like any EDM, but he actually is really into Sullivan King. He's really into Dion Timmer. He's really into, well, I shouldn't say really, but he likes to jam to it. Excision, yes, is hit or miss. But he's a really big metal guy, really big. So he digs that portion of it. My mom has always kind of stuck her nose up to it, but I've started to try and break it down for her. Like, we'll be in a car and we'll listen to a pop station. And I was like, don't you hear this? Like, there's a build up and a drop. Like, there's literally EDM and everything else nowadays. Like, most pop is EDM. People just don't realize it. But even in like now country is pop and it has a little bit of kick to it. And like, I mean, like again, Tyler said, EDM is one of the most versatile music genres I know of.
And
aside from jazz,
Yeah.
like really. And again, like a lot of people don't realize, I don't think that EDM derived from funk and disco. I've had so many people like laugh and like scoff at me. And I'm like, I'm dead ass serious, man. Like Google it.
Listen to older techno. Honestly, listen to early 90s, mid 90s techno, underground rave scene kind of stuff. You're going to get that vibe. How do you think, Bass Hunter? Think about it.
I love Bass Hunter.
Now you're gone.
Yeah,
see?
Yeah.
Really groovy kind of techno, old school techno.
Yep. Literally being like disco to
boom,
it.
Boom, boom, boom.
Bum, bum, bum. Oh. Anyway. Is there anything else you guys like to add? Say to the crowd?
Basically, just if you're new into this and you want to get into it, do it. Have fun. You're gonna
dip your toes.
Dip your toes in it. You don't have to go to a festival for your first show, but if you like a certain artist, a lot of artists do come to Utah, for the Utah listeners, and they have smaller shows, complex shows, or even maybe a smaller Saltaire show.
Yeah.
But
we have a lot of listeners nationwide and in Sweden and Germany actually too. So,
the smaller shows, if you see an artist that you're like, "Oh, I like them," go and enjoy yourself, because a good example is my cousin Oscar, right? His first show we took
Daniel.
Daniel was a whole nother. So Oscar's first show I took him to was, I believe, Trap Fest, wasn't it? Or was it before Trap Fest?
It was Trap Fest because I went with you.
Yeah, it was Trap Fest because he was really into like the rap and kind of like that kind of music. And then I was like, bro, come to Trap Fest with me. You got Bro Safari, you got 4B,
Bonnie X Clyde.
And then from there, he was like, oh my God, I had so much fun. Like, what's the next show? And then I was like, let's go to DOS. It's your birthday. I'll buy your ticket.
Yeah.
And then he ended up going to DOS, and that's when he found he found more love for the EDM scene, more love for EDM music, more love for different artists.
It's always that one show that grows the curiosity.
It's
of like,
once you go to
how deep is this rabbit hole?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
You go to your one show, and it can just the one show with your favorite artist, because the support, yes, it matches the headlining artist, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the support does not match the headliner vibe, but it's just to bring more awareness to different genres, different music, different types of vibes, styles, and stuff like that.
It's to bring more people.
Yeah.
A different crowd and audience.
Yeah, exactly.
Bigger reach.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so that's where, some people will full send. My cousin Daniel, shout out to him. His first show was, he sent it to Excision, the Apex tour. He straight said, bro, I want to go to Excision. And he went, I lost him. And next thing you know, he came back I saw him towards the end of the night with the biggest smile on his face. And he's like, I want to keep doing this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And can I bring something up personally about you guys? Because like I said earlier, color, background, size, what you do, it doesn't matter there. Religion is a big thing. Our friend Tyler and his sister are members of the LDS Church. You came from Jehovah's Witness.
Myself, my cousin Oscar, and my cousin Daniel, we grew up in the Jehovah's Witness religion.
Yeah.
We're not Jehovah's Witnesses anymore, nor do we claim to be Jehovah's Witnesses, because we don't like.
But my point is you were brought up in a conservative household.
Very. Yeah, and
so you still found this, and it still spoke to you on like such a deep level,
Yeah.
And I think it's helped a lot of us mentally.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I know for me, especially like when, when there was no live music, we're almost done. Like, I'll wrap it up as soon as I'm done telling this story. When there was no live music, my mental health really suffered. Like, I feel like I didn't get to see my friends as much. Not that we didn't do things together, but we didn't have the ability to do what we love to do the cosmos together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think the biggest thing that people don't understand is a big energy boost in the sense that I'll go out and I will literally dance my heart out until my feet feel like they're going to fall off and my head's going to roll off my neck because it's broken from headbanging so hard. Like, I literally go out and get out all the negativity.
Yeah.
Anything that's bringing me down. All my haters are left on the dance floor. And when I leave, I'm feeling whole and
You feel like you're ready to take on the world again and get back on it and just get at it.
and you're excited to go back to your regular life, to go back to work, because it's almost like for me, I find a new ambition and motivation. We're like, I'm going to fucking kill it now. Like this week, you know, all those things that were in my way and my path, they seem a little smaller and I can handle them because I don't know. I mean, it helps a lot of people. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I really appreciate you guys.
This is great.
Yeah, I think that this episode will drop next Friday because we're gonna record half of the other one to that. Anyways, if you guys want to give us a follow on Instagram and Facebook at Hard Talks with B&H, you may do so. You can also follow us on Twitter at Hard Talks with B1. If you enjoyed this episode and want to learn more about the EDM community, culture, music, any of the artists or producers that we talked about on this episode, feel free to reach out and email us at hardtalkswithbnh@gmail.com. I love every single one of you. Carlos, thank you.
Love
You're
you.
awesome. Brody, I love you and shit.
I love you and shit.
Hannah, you're wonderful. I'm sorry it's hot down here.
It's okay.
You're beautiful. And to you, my Hard Talks fam, I hope you have a wonderful week. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, which is everything. So be wise, be kind, love yourself fiercely. And I'll see you next week. Bye.
Glad you bye. Hard talk about them.
Yeah.